All right. Hello, everybody. On this video, I'm going to talk about why receptive women inspire men. Receptivity in a woman is so unbelievably inspiring and attractive. When, because for a man, what a man needs is to be able to give, is to be able to give and to have his gifts received. And to have his gifts received, he needs a receptive woman, right? A woman who is resistant to his gifts, right? Is argumentative and pushes his gifts away. It challenges his gifts. That's not what a man needs. That doesn't inspire him, right? So now a weaker man might actually enjoy that, right? There is something, before I really shifted much more into my dominance as a man. I actually liked a woman that really challenged me, right? I actually found a woman who's my wife who is extremely intelligent and is really good at challenging anybody, really. And I found that quality really attractive until this is the big thing. I found that attractive until I really felt devotion, right? When I really felt that for the first time. That was after my son was born, and it shifted something huge in me, because before that I wasn't in touch with that need, right? I was somewhat in touch with my need to lead, but not fully. But I was not at all in touch with my need to devote, right? My need to give as much as possible, as much love as possible, as much leadership as possible, as much care and consideration as possible. Once that shifted, all of a sudden, I really didn't like it when my wife challenged me. I really didn't like it when she was resistant to me in any way. I didn't like it when she was argumentative, even if it was, even if it wasn't something interpersonal, if it was just like a debate topic. I really enjoy debating. I don't know if anyone's noticed that, but I do. Um, but but as soon as that shifted, all of a sudden, I didn't want to debate with her anymore at all. I didn't want to argue with her, because all of a sudden my need was, I need to give to you, and I need to have what I am giving you received, right? Whether that's, my truth about something, like something I'm teaching her, if I'm directing her in some kind of way, right? Correcting her, helping her become more feminine, whatever it is, because my heart fully opened up to her, and all I wanted to do was make her better off, right? Make her happier, make her feel loved, just add to her life in any kind of way. And that became my need, right? I needed to be able to do that, and I needed to have those gifts received. And so, it men and women can get in a lot of trouble sometimes when they're listening to my advice, right? As if it's okay, this is hard to explain, as if it's like equally applicable to every man and woman. Now, it is at the core, right? Because what I am appealing to, I'm talking about men, the instincts of men and women, right? And a lot of men and women are not in touch with their instincts, because their instincts have been covered up with all of this bullshit programming, right? Social conditioning from feminism and public school and whatever crap your parents taught you, directly or indirectly through role modeling, right? And so, are there men that love women that really challenge the shit out of them? Yeah, there are. But that's not a healthy man that's in touch with his instincts. All right. So yeah, there's all kinds of men. And yeah, I'm sure there's lots of women out there that love, I don't know, having debate partners as well, and having a man that loves being told what to do or whatever, right? But are those men and women healthy? No, they're not, because they're not in touch with their instincts. That's the difference. When a man is fully in touch with his instincts, he needs to lead, and he needs to lead with devotion. He needs to be trusted. He needs to be respected. He needs to be received by a woman. And that is what is going to inspire him to give even more, right? One of the most beautiful experiences, and I'm not sure what the word is, um, examples I can think of this receptivity is in our academy program, right, for men and women. And of course men are also there to be receptive, but it's especially beautiful with the women who are receptive, right? Because these are women who are, most are quite like relatively masculine, right? Otherwise, why would they need us, right? Some are more feminine and more kind of like doormat feminine, but a lot are quite in their masculine. But all of them are inspiring, right? They all of them inspire me, certainly. I can't speak for the other coaches, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for the other coaches, just because they are receptive, right? Even when they first start the program and they haven't, fully worked on getting in touch, like fully in touch with their feelings and being vulnerable, fully, like that's going to come throughout the program, throughout the 6 months. But even early on, right? Nobody's joining the program and being totally unreceptive. Nobody's paying a whole bunch of money just to argue with our teachings. If people enroll in the program, it's probably because they really want to be receptive, and they're there to learn, right? And so right away, even though these women have a lot of problems in their love lives that have resulted in, well, in essentially needing our help, but resulting in a lot of dysfunction, right? Not getting their needs met, just by being receptive, just that alone is so inspiring, right? And I feel it, right? Like the reason that I know when women are, like where they're at, is how inspired I feel to want to give them more, right? And it's not about the money, right? I wouldn't want to give a woman anything if she paid me if I didn't feel inspired to do it, right? It really is for me. I want to feel my masculine instincts come online and just want to give, right? It's such a beautiful feeling, because then it's not a work thing. It's like, oh, I'm checking in, buzzing in the morning, put in all these hours, and it's fucking draining and terrible, but I'll do it for that paycheck. No, I want every moment to be, I do it because I just want to give to you, because I need to give to you, right? Because I need to, I want to give to all women as much as possible, really. Though obviously I have limitations on how much I can do in a day, but it's that beautiful feeling of inspiration. And women often don't realize, I think, just how inspiring that is, just being receptive. And many also don't realize how they may be pushing away a lot of the right men if they're not being receptive, right? Because think about it. There's all these books and bullshit advice and everything, be challenging, be whatever with the man. And, it's not that there's no truth to that. It's just really like a woman who's really in her self-worth can be challenging, but not in the way that we think of challenging, right? Just, yeah, it's totally different. So lots of BS advice out there. And so and so a lot of women will think that, oh, like that, that's what's going to keep a man, is to be challenging in that kind of way. Might keep some kind of men. It might keep the old me around, right? The old me from 6 years ago. No woman in her right mind should want that kind of man. Okay. Just being honest. There's a lot of great things about me 6 years ago, but no, any woman who is, you know, sane, right, and in touch with their instincts in any kind of way wants a man, or and knows she needs a man, and should be looking for a man who is devoted to her and wants to give to her, wants to give as many gifts to her as possible, wants to make her as happy as, wants to make her feel cherished, right? And wants to, actually cherish her. That's what a woman wants and needs. And that's what every woman should be looking for. And no woman should be settling for less than that. But you're not going to do that by being non receptive to men. You must be receptive. That is, it's like, it's just as big, if not maybe more so. I think more so. Yeah, it's more so than being vulnerable. Receptivity is even more important than being vulnerable. Both are super important. Yeah, so the problem is that if you have a lot of, trauma as a woman, right, it's going to be really difficult to be receptive, right? It might be easier to be receptive to, someone like me, right, where, like a man who's really emotionally centered and loving, and not going to let you get away with shit. But but as you're making that journey and starting to attract higher quality men, you're going to be attracting a lot of men along the way that are not at that level, right? And that's where the real challenge is, right? Can you stay receptive to any man who cares, right? I'm not saying be receptive to a total asshole who doesn't give a shit about you. That would be kind of dumb. But being receptive to men who are trying to care for you, right? And trying to give to you. If you got big trust issues especially, but also yeah, trust issues is gonna be the number one thing, right? It's gonna make it really hard to be receptive all the time. I mean, sure, it's easy to be receptive when it's like, hey, I want to buy you a $50 or $100 dinner. But being receptive to other things, like being corrected and being told to do certain things, and still considering you, right? Not saying it's inconsiderate leadership, but a lot of that trauma is going to come up there. And when a man feels that resistance, it's like immediate turn off. Right? It's like the equivalent of a man who starts complaining about how hard his job is, and how his mother is telling him to clean up his room, right? You can just feel your vagina just close up, and it's out of business. Well, that's really how it feels in a different way for a man when a woman is not being receptive to him, to his gifts, to his leadership, to his truth. And if you got that trauma, well, that's going to just keep on coming up over and over. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this topic. I want to hear from you if you want help with this. I want you to send me a private message and let me know what your big problem is, so that we can talk about it, right? Because whatever you're going through, whatever trust issues you have, whatever issues you have difficulty with, letting go of control, and opening up and being receptive and being vulnerable, and just being able to inspire a man, right? Inspire the crap out of a man to cherish you. If you have a problem with being able to do that, I want to talk to you so we can see if I can help you shift this, right? Polarity is the solution. Polarity is the solution to heal all of this trauma and get everything that you want in your love life. Everything. That Disney fantasy of being cherished by a man, no, that's actually real. That's not bullshit. That's not bullshit programming. There's lots of bullshit programming with Disney, but that is actually real. That is your instinct, and that can actually be your reality. But only if you make the choice to do something to get to shift yourself so that you can inspire that level of devotion. Only if you make that choice If you continue to say no to that choice, trying to just figure it all out on your own, trial and error, I I can't really promise anything. But if you make that choice to really get devoted support to help you through all of this in a really short period of time, you can have that Disney fantasy. That starts by reaching out to me right now and sending me a private message on Facebook. Let me know what your biggest problem is that you want help with. That's it for this video. Send me a message.